Onto the campaign trail now, where Hillary Clinton said it loud and clear for all of her supporters yesterday, elect Barack Obama our next president.
Life is too short, time is too precious, and the stakes are too high to dwell on what might have been. We have to work together for what still can be, and that is why I will work my heart out to make sure that Senator Obama is our next president.
But it turns out that not all of Mrs. Clinton's supporters are ready to put aside their feelings over the long, often bitter race for the nomination. Republican John McCain reaching out for their vote, trying to get Clinton supporters who are disappointed over her defeat by Senator Obama. Our guest this morning now, Amy Siskind, who is a was a Clinton supporter and considering voting for McCain. Amy, you're not supposed to do this. You just heard what Mrs. Clinton said. Put the bitterness behind you. Vote for Barack Obama. Why aren't you considering doing that?
Well, for me personally, this was a big week of loss, not only seeing the candidate of my lifetime suspend her campaign, but as well to see the Democratic Party, which for me is so much of who I am, really abandon what I feel are the core values that our party is based on.
Well, how did they do that?
Well, I was brought up to believe that the Democratic Party stood for helping those less fortunate and equality. And the issues may change decade to decade and campaign to campaign, but as long as we stick with those core values, the Democratic Party gets to where we should be.
But Barack Obama is dealing with equality and dealing with some of these same tenets of the Democratic Party.
Well, let's talk about that. I think as relates to equality, and actually one of your commentators, Juan Williams, had a great article about that this week. I think as relates to race, that has been used probably to the disadvantage of our party, because we're going to be sending in a candidate that was not vetted, that went through the primary season without a single idea, but our party liked the idea of him, whereas our candidate, who I thought was more qualified, who for many people in this country felt was a candidate whose time was really here, they allowed overt sexism repeatedly to happen in the campaign, and nobody in our party stood up and said anything about it.
Well, you know, the Obama people would say, of course he has positions, and of course he has a variety of issues that he has put forth and will be putting forth over the next 5 months.
I think time will tell, but I think people underestimate, because the narrative in the media has been so negative on Hillary Clinton, how much her supporters truly love this woman. For many, many of her supporters that I've met at rallies and out canvassing throughout the country, people love this woman, and she represents to many people what our party's supposed to be, and she's spent a lifetime fighting for these ideals of our party, which are equality and helping those less fortunate. And many people feel now abandoned by the DNC, that they haven't spoken out until May 31st, when Howard Dean finally spoke out about sexism, but a little too little, a little too late.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I hope you don't mind me saying this, you really look crushed at this and very upset, actually.
Yes, I've shed a lot of tears. Again, not just for Hillary. I was a very ardent supporter and will continue. You said it's over, but you know, we're going to support her whatever she does. If she comes back to New York, whatever she decides to do, we will be behind her. But for me, again, it's a loss of our party. I think both parties have lost their way in a sense.
Well,
but the Republican Party knows that, and they're grappling with that, whereas our party has not really seen this train wreck coming yet.
Yeah, well, a lot of division so far, and they have 5 months to go, and we'll see how it plays out. Amy Siskind, thank you for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.